So this is the Diamondback Mission 1, and this is an older bike. It's probably about 10 to 12 years old, but I picked it up for about 200 bucks on Facebook Marketplace, and I'll do a quicker walkthrough. I got into mountain biking probably about a year and a half ago. So this was a perfect bike to purchase and own. Because previous to that, I had rented some, and I did some trails overseas, like the Kona Bike Park and stuff like that, and you're renting $4,000 to $5,000 bikes. So this is not on the same scale, but as far as getting better and getting on the trails and doing things, this is a perfect bike. And like I said, I got it for about 200 bucks. I've only made a handful of changes as far as what I wanted to add to it, and they're mainly just functional upgrades. So the one thing I upgraded was the actual grips, and that was because the old grips were pretty worn up and shot up. And these are pretty cheap. These are North Shore grips, and I think they're only like 20 bucks. Easy install, 5 minutes to put on. And then other than that was tubes and tires. Obviously, when a bike gets older, they run into issues with tires cracking and just getting punctured and all that other stuff. So one thing I will say about this bike is it is older. So a lot of the design does not match a lot of the newer style bikes. So these are the bikes I picked up for my wife and daughter. These are hardtails. And as you can see, like the brake cables and everything are tucked on this one, whereas these are all exposed and they're clipped on, which is not an overly huge deal, because it still works and it still rides, still brakes, still does everything it's supposed to do. One of the pluses about this is it does have the Fox shock, and like I said, it's full suspension, so it's got the Rock Shock front suspension and then the Fox free floating suspension, or knuckle box as they call it, with this triangle piece right here. And the bike does have quite a few dings, scrapes, and bumps and bruises. Some are from the previous owner and some are from myself. Another noticeable difference you'll find on an older style bike like this compared to a newer one is going to be the wheel size. So these are actually 26-inch wheels on here, and the tubes I'm running are 26 by 2x3, and they still work, but it's definitely not as fast as a bike with, like, say, 29-inch wheels when you're going through a trail. So it is a little more work as far as covering distance and speed. To me, it is, at least. So it's a little slower. As I said, a lot of the newer bikes have either 27.5, and a lot of them have 29-inch, which that's what the Trek has back here, is 29-inch. The other thing that doesn't have, that a lot of newer bikes have, is a lot of them are running like a 2x7 or 1x9 sprockets and stuff like that. This still has the old school style, which is a 3x9, which is fine because a lot of that stuff is interchangeable. The only other thing I don't think I could change out would be the wheels, and that's due to where, like, the brakes are. I don't think you could fit a bigger style wheel in these. But like I said, this one works fine and it does what it's supposed to do. And this bike for the last year or so has been great for learning. You know, I hit a couple jumps on some trails, turn hard on these, ride rough terrain, a little bit of downhill on the trails, nothing too crazy. But as far as learning, this bike has been phenomenal. So to end this video, that was basically just an overview of this bike, and I used two newer style bikes to compare it to. But the reason for this video is that this bike is still really good, and it's fun to ride, and it does everything it's supposed to do. And when you're learning to ride and you're starting to hit trails and you're trying to figure out if this is for you, you don't have to go, even these aren't that expensive, but a full suspension bike, a decent one, you're going to pay quite a bit of money for. You're probably going to pay anywhere from $1,500, $2,000 and up, and that just depends on what else is on the bike. But if you're trying to get into something, look around Marketplace, Craigslist, if that's still a thing, and find a bike that you can start off, put a lot of miles on, have some fun, and then learn. And then eventually you'll be able to upgrade and go to something different. At this point, I don't need to upgrade yet. There's still a lot of stuff I got to learn, and this bike meets everything I need right now. But in the future, down the road, I probably will upgrade because it has become a hobby that I've stuck with. I've been doing this, like I said, just over a year. And then the times I've rented bikes a little longer. But as far as religiously doing it, packing this bike and taking it out, probably about just over a year. So like I said, this was a $200 bike, and it's been worth every penny to start learning this hobby, start riding some trails. And it also helps with stress, the whole nine. Like, it's relaxing to ride the trails. It's relaxing to go downhill. It's relaxing to learn a new thing that is actually fun. So hope this video helps, and thank you for watching.